Hi, I'm Davey from MKDub. Now you may have noticed that I haven't done as many gear videos this year. And the reason is we live in financially interesting times. You know, they say there's not a recession, but the prices of everything keeps going up and staying up. And yet we're negotiating our new contract at work and they're offering us a 2% raise. Don't get me wrong. You know, we're doing okay. We're not in any trouble, but it's made me think twice about buying gear and taking a look around in my studio and all these pieces that I'm blessed to be able to mess with. Do I really need anything else? Maybe the recession is going to be good for my creativity and for my music making. Let's dig into that after the open. Now, the prices for most things are up, except for, ironically, gear. The chip shortage seems to have eased. Even premium brands like Moog seem to be discounting their line. And Craigslist and the used market have definitely cooled down since the height of the pandemic. I've definitely been tempted more than once to pick up an item at a good price. But the prices of everything else have just shot through the roof. Even if gear is not expensive, everything else is. You know, it's got to make a reasonable person think twice before they spend, money on things that they don't need. Don't get me wrong, I love exploration. I love trying out new synths and new gear. But sometimes there's a little bit of a trap lurking in there. There's a fine line between exploration and experimentation and searching for new sounds and procrastination and shopping. Sometimes I'm just shopping, right? I just spend an hour on Craigslist just looking at browsing ads, looking at, whoa, look at the price of that, $1,500. But anyway, you see what I mean? Even for the stuff I've had for years, I'm just scratching the surface of what these pieces can do. And if I'm being honest, my attention is exhausted way before the possibilities of the gear are. I mean, that's not to discount, the kind of tricking your mind with some new things by giving you some new tools. That's definitely fruitful. But that's why I say it's a fine line, and you kind of have to make sure that you're not kind of going from, healthy creativity and exploration into kind of more consumer therapy or just procrastination where, finishing tracks is hard. Right? It's cool to get a patch up and to kind of get moved. Taking it past that into like, when you finish the tracks, that's where the grind happens. And sometimes it's just easier to just move on to the next thing. So for me anyways, that's how, I always kind of have to be wary of that trap. Looking around at my studio, all these pieces are essential now. And I feel like I've always tried to have a one piece in, one piece out. Once I got the studio to a certain size, I didn't want to just accumulate stuff. I didn't want to be a hoarder of synth gear or a synth collector, or just have things kind of stood up on the wall, leaning up against the wall on its side, right? Like I just, I want things to be used. One of the things that I've wrestled with throughout my life is just a collector mentality and maybe a consumer mentality, a materialistic mentality. And so, having a streamlined studio, I feel like helps get me to become more of the person that I want to be. I use what I need and I don't take any more. I just recently got to 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you who have been following me on this journey. It's been cool. It's been great interacting with you all. My channel is a mix of gear videos and my own music. There's always this pressure when you're doing a YouTube channel, right? To add new subscribers and to get more watch time. And so, what do people want to see? They want to see new gear, right? I don't blame you, all right? I don't go around doing searches for old gear usually, right? Maybe sometimes, not normally. So there's always this pressure to kind of bring in the new gear and do the video so I can get more views. And, that pressure is real. I've been busy with work. I haven't really been falling into it too much this year. I don't want to buy gear just to do a review on it, right? I don't get any gear sent to me, right? I'm not famous enough YouTuber to do that. Even if I was, I don't know if I would want to cross that line. Thankfully, I don't do this for my livelihood, so I can make that choice. I don't hold it against anybody who does make the choice to do paid advertising, paid promotions or whatever. But I feel like I can be honest about how I feel about certain pieces of gear without having to worry about offending a sponsor, or maybe they won't send me something next time, or they'll shut me out or whatever. It kind of ties into my other point, right? Which is that I've never done videos on some of my favorite gear like the Sequential Pro 3 or the Analog 4 Mark II, because they were old, quote unquote old, by the time I got them, right? They weren't new releases, fresh gear. And so the motivation to do a video on those, knowing that I wouldn't get as many views, just never really materialized. So don't be surprised if you do start to see those videos upcoming weeks. And as I dive deep into these pieces that I love, probably some of the best music making tools on the market today. In the meantime, I hope you all make it through the other side of whatever the heck's going on in this day and age. And remember, the music we create is more important and more powerful than the music we consume. So keep jamming.